welcome to this video. My name is Emma and this is Lauresha, and we are both working for the Gaia-X Federation Services so-called GXFS project. In the next couple of videos, you will get a better understanding of our project and our key objectives.
One goal of Gaia-X is to organize participants in federations. To empower these federations and to make them operational, we are working on so-called GXFS toolbox. This toolbox will help to fulfill the main Gaia-X objectives, which are providing trust, interoperability, and ensuring that each data owner retains sovereignty over their data.
We are happy to introduce to you our key experts. They are all working with us in the project to implement the reference open source code for this toolbox. In this video today I have Dr. Christian Weiss with us. Christian is working at Deutsche Telekom in the area of data governance and data architecture. Welcome, Christian.
Welcome, Emma. Happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
So next to your other activities within Gaia-X and also Deutsche Telekom, you're also working with us in the Gaia-X Federation Services project as work package lead for portal and integration. Can you tell us more about your work package and why it is important to include it as well in the Federation services?
Yeah, thanks, Emma, for the question. That's right. I'm leading the work package 5, portal and integration, within the Gaia-X Federation Service project. And the portal and integration is an important step and also an important component of the whole Gaia-X Federation service, because the portal is a business client that enables the participants of the Gaia-X to access the Gaia-X network, the Gaia-X idea. So for the business and for a successful business, it is important to have the portal with functionalities where business users can, for example, consume, can search, can also just retrieve information about Gaia-X data and infrastructure services.
Can you tell us more about the orchestration subcomponent?
Yeah, orchestration subcomponent is, let's say, the next step in our whole integration. You can imagine you have the Gaia-X portal, which has search functionalities. Once a business user wants to find some data or infrastructure services, he will use the search functionality of the portal. He gets back a result list. You can imagine it as in Google a search list. And once you would like to consume or you would like to deploy a service, you need somehow to bring this service from the result list to your company. So with this orchestration function, we have in mind, and that is the idea, to click on a service to establish a direct business line to the provider of this service, whether it's a data or infrastructure service. And in the next step, we are thinking, and this is to define in phase 2 of the specification of the Federation Service project, to deploy right away this service into my own company's requirement infrastructure or consume the data right away from the portal.
So what makes the approach you use in your work package for the services you just mentioned different from other currently widely used concepts?
That is a very good question. And as you know, nowadays we are talking about platform business. Platform business, as we know it from the big internet platforms, they are using, let's say, an owner principle. So one is owning a platform. And if you would like to participate in this platform and offer your service, you need to comply with the owners, and you have to, let's say, use the terms and the agreements of the owner's platform in order to offer services. So with our approach, we are talking about an open network, an open, let's say, platform. Some call it at the moment Web 3. Web 3 is not owned by, let's say, one company, but it's owned by many different participants. And our approach is to open up the portal to be owned by a federation, by an ecosystem, by themselves. And the responsible content in this ecosystem is brought and is under the responsibility and the ownership of the participants of this federation or the ecosystem.
Christian, what would you say, what are the main challenges we are facing in the project, and how do we solve them?
So one of the main challenges is to bring all the participants, all the companies, the research institutions together and to come from a concept to an implementation. The second challenge is we would like to be open source. Open source is an innovation driver, and let's say to bring the companies and to convince everyone to contribute to the open source that everyone can benefit out of is also a challenge according to open source licenses and the interests of the companies. The second main challenge I would see is how can we combine different components. How can we, for example, interact and interface with existing systems that are running in companies. And if we look at the moment, for example, to the commercial data marketplaces that are built up and are existing, we need to include and we need to interface and interact with these commercial offerings in order to integrate the whole data ecosystem into our project. So interfacing with the outside world is very important. Integrating data sources, infrastructure services is very important, because only when the companies and the providers can bring in the already existing services, then the consumers can benefit out of this offering.
What would you say were the biggest achievements so far in the project, and what are the next steps?
In the work package 5, we had already a lot of achievements, and I'm happy to share this also with the community. We have out and the specification, which is available on the website of the Gaia-X Federation Service Project. We had in the work package 5 portal and integration also the specification for the orchestration services, for the compliance documentation service, and also put together the wireframes for the visualization of such a business client to access the Gaia-X network. So now is the time to implement, and you can follow in the GitLab as it is an open source project.
So also to get to know you better on a personal note, what would you say, why are you so heavily involved in Gaia-X and also the GXFS project, and why is it important to you?
Yeah, I think the Gaia-X idea itself is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Also personally, you work together with the top experts across Europe. You have research institutions, you have different insights in technical topics, broad range coming from confidential computing, cloud computing, data management, and everything what is around that. And this is very, very amazing and also exciting to work in such a team, and also to shape the future of European data infrastructure and data sovereignty. I think this is, as I said, a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I'm happy to be part of the team.